So I'm truly honored to be here, and I'm really passionate about everything that everyone has been discussing so far. Dr. Brathrow had invited me to share a little bit about my experience on my Clean Cook Stove project in India. And Professor Prodhi earlier shared about how 3 billion people of the world are not connected. And those same 3 billion people also still cook their meals on rudimentary fuels that threaten their lives. In my experience working in rural Indian villages, I've seen the impact of bringing internet-enabled remote sensors to empower the rural poor to switch to clean cooking. And recently, Professor Sachs was saying that we need to figure out how to help the poor get more money, and that's an issue that's really important to me. My project that I've been managing for the last 3 years in India and recently in Nigeria has helped nearly 1,000 homes in 29 villages get access to clean energy, but also specifically it's helping women in the poorest villages get paid in cash through mobile money payments for switching to clean fuels. And so by fighting climate change and reducing their pollution, they actually end up getting money and in turn for their pollution reduction. And the way that this all happens is because of remote sensors that are enabled by the internet, which measure the woman's use of the clean cook stove and her carbon mitigation, and then when we measure that, we can actually get her money for her carbon reduction. The good part about this project is that every time I visited the village, similar to the project that was described in Uruguay, the women are so happy. They're happy that there's finally international aid, there's finally a project that's actually helping them, that's actually giving them something they need. But the problem is that this project can really only work in areas where there's connectivity, because the investors that fund this project want the sensors to be on the stove to get objective scientific measurement of adoption of the stoves. And so the sensors can only work where there's internet and where there's connectivity. And the government of Nigeria has recently requested me to bring this project to their country, to their women. And the issue there has been that in Abuja, in the capital, some of the villages don't have internet, don't have connectivity, and the government actually the Ministry of Environment has been working with the telcos to convince them to bring internet towers into the village to enable this project. And so far, and I think this point was made earlier, but the telcos don't see a business case to do that. And so, so this project actually hasn't been able to happen in Nigeria because of the lack of internet. And so my question to the group and to all of the experts in the room are, how do we get increased connectivity to the rural poor populations, to the poorest 3 billion people, so that projects like these stoves, these clean cook stoves, can benefit the poorest 3 billion? Thank you.
Yes, Samora?